Keystone Cops.
What's going on, guys? Going to flash back a little bit. I know I've been covering modern knives a lot over the past maybe year or so, and a lot of that is just due to the fact that since GEC has kind of changed the way they do business, the models come out a lot more slowly. There are a lot fewer patterns, and a lot of the patterns don't appeal to me. So I think the last video I did was the 93 from DLT Cutlery, that SFO. The, what was it called? The ram's head or sheep foot, or I can't remember. It was something like that, but it was a 93 pattern if memory serves. And I said I wasn't going to get the 62. I talked with some guys and we discussed this model. The 62, and I guess it's technically not a split back Whittler now that I have one in hand and I've had a chance to look over it. Yes, this is new. This is closed up. I have two. I bought two because white bone, if you're not familiar, can sometimes have a lot of black specks or fleck in it from the polishing compound that gets embedded into the pores of the bone. And I'm not a big fan of that. And I know that's picky. That's just my preference. Upside is I'll have one for sale. But anyway, let's take a look at the knife. So first of all, what's a split back Whittler? I brought this pattern out. This is a 98 split back Whittler. You can see it's pretty big. And a split back Whittler is a knife that has two springs. So you can see here, one spring, another spring, and then there is a liner in the middle that tapers as it goes down. And basically what happens is the main blade rides on one spring, on the two springs combined into one, and the secondaries ride on the two smaller springs individually. And the main blade rides very tightly in the blade well in between those two secondary blades. So it's not a pattern you see a lot, but it is a very intricate pattern, very involved pattern, and something that I'm a huge fan of. I don't use the word collect, and I wouldn't say I collect a lot, but the split back, and now I guess modified split back pattern is one of my favorites, and it is something that I do pick up. They don't come around often, and I didn't pick this one up. You might be asking, why didn't you want to pick this one up? I'll kind of discuss that when I pull it out the tube. I'm going on a little bit too long. What I carry today, my full-size 21 Insingo. Love this knife. Great knife. If you have a chance to pick one up, pick one up. My trusty old gal Z-Wear S&G Strider. And we'll sit both of those to the side. I'm going to use this to open it up. A little trick for you guys. You can use the groove right here to latch onto this little lip, and you can just pop it right up. They also sell a tool, but you don't need a tool if you have a knife. Any knife will work. You could use this as well. That would have worked. There is a pin inside of here that says Pocket Carver 620320. 62 is the pattern. 03 would be the number of blades. So there are 3 blades, and 20 is the year. 0 signifies the type of main blade. Sorry, the type of main blade, which kind of gets into why this was not necessarily a knife that I really was looking for. This is a Wharncliffe style main blade. I think you can see it there on the tube. And I'm not a big fan of knives with straight edges like this, not traditional knives with straight edges. So, or Wharncliffes in particular. I just feel like I'm always using the tip of the knife a lot. I say ironically as I use the tip of the knife right now. And I just feel like I don't use enough of the blade to really make it worthwhile. This knife did come from traditional pocket knives, so that's why it's packaged a little bit differently than you may be used to seeing. I guess they have their own little technique. There is a desiccant pack that GEC has been putting in these tubes for a while now. And this is the knife. So you can see there's no black flecks on this one, but it has some very nice character. You can see there kind of that bright white and that yellowish kind of white. So that's very nice. The bolsters, they're not the finest polish I've ever seen from GEC. You can see there are still some swirl marks. Let's check that centering. You can see that main blade is tight in that well, very tight in the well. And the secondaries come very close to those liners, but they do not touch. You can see what I was saying about this being more of a modified pattern. That's my word I'm going to use, not necessarily their word. And I guess it's not modified. I guess the liner is just so fine. I didn't see it on the first one. You can see it here sticking out the end, but you can see you can't really make that out down the knife, but you can definitely tell down here that they are split. So down on this side that they are split, and down here that it is one blade. So that is a little bit interesting. So let's get this out and let's see. There is a half stop. If you care about the spring being proud or not, you can see that's what it is at half. You can see there's some nice oil on there, and it says Tidiute Cutlery, made in USA. On this side it says GEC, Titusville, PA. And you can see, I don't see any rub marks or anything like that, just some oil. We'll open that up. And it has a very nice snap. Nice walk and talk. I'd say that's probably a 7 or an 8. Maybe that's what I would give it. And then here are the secondary blades, which again is another reason why I didn't necessarily pick this knife up or want to pick this knife up, because it's pretty repetitive and I just don't necessarily care for that, having the same blade kind of over and over. The blades are at different heights, if you can see that in the well, which means the kick, which is this little portion here, this little hump, has been filed to different levels. They're all hand fit, so that's not really a big deal. There is a half stop. I would say maybe that pull is maybe a 3 or a 4. Let me try to get that in focus. And again, like I said, you can see it's just a smaller version of the same blade there. And you've got another copy of that blade right here. So you've got 3 of the same blades, just 2 different sizes. And these are kind of just redundant. So if one gets dull, you can switch to another one. Let's see. Okay, it's a little lazy on the close. Let's try that again. Sorry, I'm reaching over the tripod. Yeah, it's a little bit slow on the close and a little bit slow on the open. But again, you can see very nicely finished. This one says carbon to represent that it's carbon steel. There's nothing on this side of the tang. You can see how that blade is ground and it goes off to the right a little bit to allow for spacing of the blades in the well. You can see that there's nothing on this side of the tang. No rub marks, no anything. And on this side is the pattern number with all of the other information. There are nail nicks on every blade, no long pulls. Let's look at the blade well. I know a lot of people like to see down in the blade well. You can see that blade well is pretty clean, as I would expect from GEC. And you can also see that liner when you look down the blade well this way. So very nice knife. You can see that character on the back, and you can see a little bit of that black here on the edges that I was talking about. Again, it's nothing wrong with that. It's just the way the knife was made, and the way the natural pocket material, the natural cover material is, excuse me. And some of them are just like that. So you can see the shield it says Pocket Carver, and it kind of has an arch to it. Let's check the transitions. I can barely feel a little catch there. I don't feel anything here. There is a little catch on this side. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. And nothing there. So that's what? 2 out of the 8 transitions that there's a little catch. Nothing major. Overall, I am very happy with the knife. This one will probably be the one that I list up for sale because, like I said, I have a second one, and the second one is more of my style. This here just has more of that pure white bone. You can see there. Pretty similar fit and finish. Not the best polish on those bolsters that I've seen. You can see the back also pretty white, pretty solid white. That centering is still very tight without any rubbing. Just a great specimen. And one of the reasons that I really enjoy Great Eastern cutlery knives when they have a pattern that I like. And another reason that I really enjoy the split back Whittler model in particular. So that was my latest purchase of the 62 Pocket Carver. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I appreciate you all watching. Remember, a lazy man carries a dull knife.